Shalom and good day all, this is the Helium29 back again for another Marvel comic review, and in this Marvel comic review I have two titles this time around, and this time it's Moon Knight, the latest issue, and last but not least, Peach Momoko's Demon Wars, the Iron Samurai. I'll now get things set up for the first comic that I'll be reviewing, starting now. So, first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form for Moon Knight by Jed MacKay connect to something that's happening inside with the comic and the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. I'll now move to the area and location of the internal art, which we'll get to see some of the things that are happening internally with the story, and as to how well the art is executed. As we enter the beginning of the story, we have Mark Spector talking to, I think that this is a financier of sorts, or someone who's connected to him financially. Just the way the character comes across and the way he's dressed in his suit. And of course, we've got things happening here at the Midnight Mission of sorts, but we're in a mix of a couple of little worlds here. Jumping towards the middle of the story, we have Moon Knight getting into what appears to be some sort of conflict with one of the characters. And last but not least, the return of Hunter's Moon with the character of Tigra. And of course, something happening with Moon Knight, or Mr. Knight, well, all of the above knights. I personally enjoyed the art in this, to which I gave a 7 out of 10. Now, time to move to the area of the story. Did we get any comic references to any of the previous issues? No, Jed MacKay, you need to use them. Next area being time. Was it used in the story? No, but Jed MacKay, you need to use it. Moving into the next thing, location. Well, I have no idea where the heck we were in this story. It would be nice to have it included as to where everything was taking place, or at least a couple of the places named or where it's taking place. And last but not least, we had the cast of characters. This is about the only thing that seemed to be sort of done right, but it does feel it's dropping a bit in quality. Of course, we had Moon Knight, Mark Spector, every alias under that name. Of course, we had Jake, who made an appearance, Jake Lockley, Hunter's Moon, and last but not least, Tigra. For the overall story rating in this, I gave a 6.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move to the Demon Wars, Iron Samurai. So for that last comic story rating, it was a 6.5. Now it's time to move into the Demon Wars Peach Momoko, or by Peach Momoko, the Iron Samurai. First things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that's happening with the story that's happening internally? Sure enough it does, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. It's now time to move to showing the internal art around the beginning, middle and end, as well as some of the things that are happening story-wise with the character. As we start to move around the beginning of the story, we have the main character, Mariko. And as you can see here, she's also having a bit of an experience with some of the Oni and the demons, plus some of the yokai, and she's getting prepared for pretty much her day at school and then to return home again. As we start to move into the middle of the story, we end up coming across someone that comes a bit like a villain, or more so a samurai villain of sorts. And we end up meeting this young Oami, I think it is. And we encountered a Bakayori, and we've got the Ibogami and the some other crazy word which I'm going to end up butchering. But I will try and cover it when I get to the the story review. As we start to move towards the end of the story, we see Mariko on her way home. And as you can see here, she also goes past a shrine that's near her house. Alright, this is one thing that's added to the story, and this is one of the characters that we end up meeting, the Bakeyore, the Ibogami. We got the Hitodama and the Hitogata. And I really enjoy this in what Peach Momoko does, because it lets you know some about the characters in the world, but it also gives you some historical facts around the characters, or historical and mythological facts around the characters, which is really good, and I appreciate that, Peach Momoko. So for the internal art, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Moving into the next area, being the story. First things first, did we get anything in the area of time, seeing that this is the first issue? No, we didn't. But moving into the next area, even though these locations were not marked, I was actually able to make them out pretty clearly. Of course, we know this is taking place in Japan. We got to explore her areas from her home, her school, the train that she caught, and a shrine connected to a mountain of sorts. The cast of characters consisting of Mariko Yoshida. We have Oami, Bakayori, which I showed the video just beforehand, the Ibogami, and there was also talk of a Kisan Danshi, I think it is. I think I've spelled it wrong, or said it wrong. But overall, I gave this story a 7 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.